What the fuck? Like, what the fuck is up with these, like, quote-unquote leakers?
I don't know, dude.
They're like, "Oh, Marvel gets, the rights to all the Netflix shit back in, like, November. So they're definitely gonna bring them all into the MCU, and Spider-Man is gonna have Daredevil in it, and it's gonna be Charlie Cox." And then Charlie Cox is talking to comic book people, and he's like, "Well, if
Never
I
heard
am,
anything about it.
nobody told me." And Disney's like, "Yeah, and we sold all that shit months ago to charity."
I think 99% of it has come from that Randall Wardall guy.
Yeah.
So, a little history lesson for anybody out there. This guy comes out on the scene and starts like tweeting about shit that's going to happen in the MCU. And a lot of his stuff is coming true.
Yeah, he was the guy I had to avoid for Endgame.
Yeah. And then the guy disappears. And then he comes back suddenly under a different name. And everything that this guy has said has been false. Like, it's a copycat. And you start realizing it too, because it's like, this is going to be a Disney Plus show. Tom Hardy's going to be Anti-Venom.
No.
Yeah.
Look, no, goddammit, this is a fucking fan.
Yeah.
The part that pisses me off, right, is so you and me, when we're gearing up for an episode, we look at a lot of articles, and we'll look at an article and read through it and be like, oh, well, that article wasn't actually about anything. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
But the people that make YouTube, like all the YouTube channel guys, they read it and then they do the video anyway.
Yeah.
But they do the video about if it happened and then acknowledge that it was bullshit. Like at some point in their video, they'll be like, but actually, so-and-so didn't do this or say this or was ever approached about this.
But that's only if they're somewhat responsible too. Because some of those people will just act like it's fact.
Oh, the goddamn everything always.
Yeah.
Where they'll take the tiniest little, like, hint of something.
Yeah.
And make a 10-minute video about it as if it's God's only truth.
I'm not over here saying that it's, like, hard coming up with content every week because we like it.
Yeah, I'm going to read all that stuff anyway.
It really feels like going through the spam in your email folder. And it's like, all right, so I have an uncle that lives in fucking Nigeria that I didn't know about.
Yeah.
So
also, he's going to be playing Daredevil in the MCU. Welcome to the Firebear Republic. I'm Jamie.
I'm Dustin.
And we have a whole episode for you this week.
A whole episode?
A whole-ass episode.
We didn't half-ass it this week. We whole-assed it.
We whole-assed it this week. We both attempted to watch goddamn Artemis Fowl. Goddamn Billy Mitchell is getting his Guinness Book of World Records.
There's going to be some rage in this episode.
Goddamn AT&T is trying to sell all their cool-ass video game shit.
Yeah, that's actually kind of like a follow-up to the previous episode.
It is.
Yeah.
We had some stuff involving Peter Jackson. And then
super exciting.
Potentially some new Star Wars stuff.
Fuck yeah.
If it's not all fucking lies.
And this week, we got more Snyder Cut news.
You mean we got 15 seconds of Gal Gadot or whatever her name is?
Gal Gadot?
Gal Gadot? Gal Gadot?
I don't
think you pronounce the T.
Yeah?
Like standing in front of this thing that looks like Darkseid.
Do you realize we've officially talked about it longer than the trailer was?
We have.
Yeah.
You said you liked it.
I thought it was hype.
I was like, I haven't watched it yet. Yeah. You're like, well, I know we're going to shit on it because it's Zack Snyder, but I actually liked it.
Yeah.
What did you like, Dustin?
I thought it was cool. Like, okay, obviously Wonder Woman's been around for a lot longer than most of the other superheroes.
True.
And apparently she was like doing some tomb raiding.
Okay.
And shit, like she's Tomb Raider or some shit, like she's Lara Croft.
Okay.
And found like a fucking picture of Darkseid. And I don't know why there's a picture of Darkseid down there, but
because they're going to shovel 2 more hours onto the end of that movie and they're going to go fight fucking Darkseid.
Yeah. But then he just like shows up like all of a sudden it's like Darkseid and there's fucking like ships behind him and I don't know if the planet's blowing up or what.
Okay, I feel like this whole Snyder cut thing,
Yeah.
if they were to have any shred of like secrecy or like some spark of wonder, I might be interested. But I think at this point, they're going to show us all of the director's cut shit as he finishes it and tell us literally what's going to happen all the way to the end. And then when they do put it out on HBO Max, not a sponsor,
Yeah.
we're supposed to just sit down and watch it.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the game plan?
Yeah, probably. I mean, he's been talking about it for so long. Like,
I wish there was a goddamn rumor that it was Darkseid. They were going to add Darkseid to it. And then I watch it begrudgingly. And all of a sudden it's awesome because Darkseid just comes in and like pops Steppenwolf's head off like a Pez. And like,
well, okay. To play devil's advocate here,
mhm.
the only reason it got made was because of the hype over what people were missing. So
Yeah.
if you had been like, well, there's like a magical other version of this movie that could have happened, but I can't tell you what it is, in case they ever make it, because that'll make it cooler and more fun.
Yeah.
You know? Like, we kind of have already known what the Snyder Cut was.
Yeah. I mean, we broke
Yeah.
the whole thing down at some point when we were talking about Jason Momoa saying he saw it in
Yeah.
its unfinished state.
Yeah, they fight Steppenwolf, then they fight Darkseid.
And it was good, bro.
And apparently they don't bring Superman back just because, like, they all failed. Like, it's... I don't know. Like, he's got the mullet, he's got a beard.
I don't understand.
They hated the mustache, they took off the mustache, now they give him a beard and he has a mullet. I don't know.
I'm very confused over this. And then Henry Cavill is gonna be back in playing the role, allegedly.
Sure.
But they're saying somebody's gonna beat him out for the role.
I don't
For Man of Steel 2.
What?
I don't understand this whole goddamn
I
thing,
don't
and we've shit
know.
on it like every fucking week.
Yeah. But they keep on giving us something every week. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know what...
They're trying to stay in the news.
It's at least newsworthy.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
it was a trailer for something that's been like massive in the nerd community
Yeah.
for like 2 years since that piece of shit came out or
And I
whatever.
don't care if you hate Zack Snyder. I
Yeah.
don't think he's a great guy. Darkseid's cool.
Speaking of pieces of shit though,
Yeah.
we both tried to watch Artemis Fowl.
That was one of the shittiest movies I've ever seen.
I don't
Well, I didn't even watch the whole thing.
Neither did I. I
Yeah.
couldn't. I tried really hard to watch it. I got about 35, 40 minutes in
Yeah.
to like a 90-minute movie. And I was like, this is the most atrocious thing I've ever tried to spend time on.
Yeah.
And the trailer made it look like this cool ass, like Aquaman meets Harry Potter meets the Avengers. Disney did it. It's like an 8-book series
Yeah.
that was apparently like at least somewhat successful, like more successful than some things that I liked.
But it kind of came out around the same time as all those like kids book things.
Yeah, like
that,
the young adult novels.
Yeah, like you said, like Harry
Like
Potter.
like Harry Potter. I think it came out
series of
after Harry Potter, but like
series of unfortunate events, like that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
so somewhere in that mix, and they picked it up to make a series out of it,
Mm-hmm.
and it was supposed to be a bunch of movies, and it is the most critically like agreed upon, just treacherous tripe to come
Yeah.
out ever.
I wanted to ask you this: have you ever heard that study about how like they put a baby down and they like showed like the baby like an ugly person, they showed the baby like a pretty
A
person,
beautiful person.
and they seem to like the pretty person more, that
Huh.
kind of thing?
Yeah.
It's just like, kind of a study that says like aesthetics like make a difference in how we perceive each other, right?
Yeah.
That kid has a punchable face.
Dude, something is wrong with that kid.
I know every time he came on the screen, I wanted to punch him in the face. And it's a child. I know I can't do that. Like, I'm a
Yeah.
30-year-old man. You don't punch kids.
I know, but he had the, and then he speaks in a punchable way.
He does.
It's like you already have a punchable face, young man.
Yeah.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
But he's begging to get punched. Every
I
time he
know.
opens his goddamn mouth.
He's like, Butler, take me to my bat cave. And you're like, oh, shut the fuck up, you Artemis
Yeah.
fuck.
But his name is Butler, but we don't call him Butler.
Shut the fuck up.
God, this movie was awful.
It was terrible. I don't know if it was a successful book series.
Yeah.
I mean, like, successful enough to where they bought the rights to make a movie.
And what was the fucking idea of having the person narrating the film sound like fucking Christian Bale and Dark Knight, the whole fucking narration?
Yeah.
Like he's doing the Batman voice. Like, It was fucking awful.
I could not finish it.
I was trying to pay attention to it when you told me that was awful, don't watch it. And I was like, fuck that, I'll watch it. You know?
I'm gonna be a trooper.
Yeah,
Get through this
I'm
whole
going to get
shit.
through the whole thing and I'm going to find some glimmer of hope with it. No. Like, I started watching it and then I decided I was going to make it a background thing. Like, maybe I can just kind of pay attention to it. And the voice was so fucking annoying. I couldn't even have it on in the background.
You're like, God damn it, I'm trying to rub one out.
Yeah. You gonna cock block me? Come on.
It was absurd. I was not expecting something that bad from Disney.
That was fucking dumb. It really explains everything. Like,
It does.
the not going to the movie theater thing, just going straight to...
Apparently, the guy who wrote the books asked them to put it on a streaming service.
God damn.
Like, once COVID happened and it was like a possibility of it not being in theaters,
Yeah.
he was like, can we just put it on the streaming service? And they did, and they hyped the shit out of it. Like, they paid for ads on, like, YouTube. I mean, they own Hulu, so maybe not Hulu, but, like, I saw it advertised on, like, YouTube, Hulu, like, everywhere.
Well, when they started development, they probably thought this was going to be the new Harry Potter or something. They were going to do, like, probably 7 sequels to it, you know? Like,
Maybe.
Yeah.
Allegedly, it was supposed to come out, and it was going to be produced by Harvey Weinstein.
Oh.
Like 5 years ago or something, 6 years ago, and then they had to re-evaluate everything, and then there was recasting because you can't really do a kids movie and be like, can we just do that in 5 years? Because then they're like adults.
Yeah.
So like there was that.
He's supposed to be 11 and he's like fucking got facial hair.
Yeah, he's like in his mid-30s.
Yeah.
You're like, well, damn. Can we do it when Weinstein gets out of jail? Which is never.
Never.
Never. That might have been the better move, though, as bad as it was.
Probably.
Like, let's just wait for Weinstein to get out of jail.
Yeah, just have that kind of like...
That's just what they tell everybody who still wants to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're waiting for Harvey, guys. Like,
damn.
Yeah.
It's like an evil prophecy or something. Like,
it is an evil prophecy.
Yeah.
I heard about another evil prophecy.
Yeah?
Yeah. The goddamn Billy Mitchell.
Oh my God.
Was going to get his Donkey Kong record back in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Okay, so for anybody that has not seen it, Fistful of Quarters is one of the coolest documentaries ever.
It's the most nerdiest of nerd shit.
Yeah.
But it's one of my favorite movies in that genre.
Yeah.
Of all time. I've probably watched it like at least once a year.
It's kind of sad and kind of awesome at the same time because like everybody's had like a period of time in their life where they had some off time.
Yeah.
And they, you know, kind of waste it.
You find something to obsess over, yeah.
Yeah. This guy was like, I'm going to become the best Donkey Kong player. Well, I don't even think he thought that.
He got laid off and he was like, I'm really close to like a world record.
Yeah, like he just kind of wanted to make something out of his free time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Billy Mitchell did everything in his goddamn power to take away this man's high score.
Yeah, he's just like this guy who comes out of nowhere and he's like, I've been playing Donkey Kong a lot and I bought a machine.
Yeah.
And I think I can set a new world record, and didn't understand, like, had never been involved in the competitive scene for it.
Right.
Didn't know who the players were. Didn't know who was in charge.
Billy Mitchell.
Billy Mitchell, apparently, and not fucking Twin Galaxies.
Yeah.
And comes in and blows the record up.
And it does his due diligence. Like, okay, he broke the record at home.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, you can't do it from home. You got to come in.
Right. You can't set a world record with a videotape.
Keep that in mind, by the way. And then he goes to like one of the arcades, has somebody watch him the whole time, breaks the record.
Yeah.
I think he even did better than his first attempt, right?
Right.
And while they're like fucking praising this guy, Billy Mitchell calls in and he's like, release the video.
Show him the videotape, guys.
I actually beat my own record.
He has like a little fucking minion do it too.
Yeah.
He's not even there.
And this guy, Billy Mitchell, is like the ultimate evil bad guy in this movie.
Piece of fucking shit.
Yeah. Just like does exactly what they told this guy he can't do and sends in a fucking video.
And they're like, yeah, we're just going to let it go. We're going to accept it.
And the whole documentary just gets wrapped up in this nice little bow where like Billy Mitchell like loses his record.
Yeah.
Because it turns out that the whole thing was fake. and stuff, and this guy who went through all this trouble
Gets his record.
Yeah. Like, the hero wins.
And then Guinness disqualified him a couple years ago because they found out he cheated.
Billy Mitchell.
Billy Mitchell, yeah.
And then we just found out that fucking Billy Mitchell sued Guinness.
He sued the Guinness Book of World Records.
And got his title back.
Yeah.
God damn it.
He's probably going to sue us too.
He would.
He probably would.
He would.
So, just a disclaimer. None of this is factual. We are just speculating.
Yeah.
Also, fuck Billy Mitchell. Fuck his nasty ass hot sauce. And we ran a train on his would-be prom queen wife thing.
I don't
that
remember
like
that.
lurks with him throughout the movie.
Yeah.
She looks like she was a pretty girl in high school, but then like life wasn't kind. Yeah.
He just kind of reeks of that.
Out of speculation.
Yeah.
We speculatively ran a train on his wife.
Billy Mitchell is the
Fuck
type
Billy
of guy
Mitchell.
who like wears like a fucking piano tie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But doesn't know how to play piano.
Oh, of course not.
No.
But he still thinks it rocks.
And he has the answers to the test like written on the underside of the tie.
Right.
On a piece of paper. Like
But
taped to it.
always talks about how smart he is.
Yeah.
But he can't pass the test without cheating.
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy, man.
God, I hate
He's
Billy
the most
Mitchell.
despicable villain of all time.
Yeah.
If movies could cast a better villain,
Yeah.
huge success.
Did you know that they satired the whole thing on that what is it? Regular show
Really?
on Cartoon Network?
Oh, damn.
They had like a Billy Mitchell character that kind of represented him, and it was like the whole arcade situation and everything. Billy Mitchell fucking sued Cartoon Network and lost.
What?
Yeah.
Should we even do this topic?
I don't know.
Like, I'm a little worried. Like, again, we are liars and not credible at all.
Well, we're stating things that happened.
I don't know if we want to say they happened.
Yeah.
Because I don't really want Billy Mitchell's hot sauce lawyers to come get us.
I wonder if I've ever accidentally had his hot sauce.
I don't know. I wouldn't buy it by choice.
Yeah. What's it called?
I don't know.
I mean, don't bring it.
Yeah, don't mention it. And then we're slander and libel and shit.
Yeah, we'll look it up later.
Yeah. But just to summarize, fuck that alleged cheater.
Yeah.
Who may or may not have cheated.
Definitely
may or may not have cheated. And his villainous fucking demeanor.
And his tendency to sue people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor.
Oh,
God damn.
So the other week we were talking about how HBO Plus were making all these new TV shows.
Just spending money. Snyder cut.
Yeah.
300 grand or 300 million or whatever.
And I very specifically remember you going, how are they paying for this? Like,
I think my exact words were, how the fuck are they going to pay for all this?
Yeah. And I was like, maybe it's Zack Snyder's money. Like,
yeah.
It's like, I think him and Ben Affleck are paying for something.
That Batman Joker thing, him and Jared Leto and Ben Affleck are all good buddies trying to pay for it.
They're all like paying their equal share or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you sent me a text where apparently you found out why.
Yeah. So AT&T, who is the parent company of HBO and HBO Max and owns Warner Brother, because they had that big merger like a few years ago, which actually put AT&T under by like $300 billion or some shit, also own NetherRealm Studios and the video game studio that makes the Batman Arkham games. And they're selling not the IPs, just the studios.
So they're selling Ed Boon?
They're selling the company that employs Ed Boon currently. Like NRS.
Yeah.
NetherRealm Studios. It's gone.
But he's not going to have his own property that he created?
So they still want to do the Mortal Kombat movie, so they're retaining all the IPs. Like, they're not going to put Batman with it. Like, you don't buy whatever the name of that company is, and then you get Batman.
Yeah.
Like, you get to make the next Batman game because you own the company or whatever, or they even get to work on it since it's their project. You get it, and in the getting of it, you're going to have to negotiate, like, profit sharing with them. So you're literally just getting the studio. And like fucking EA and Activision have lined up for that shit.
That sucks.
They're like, give it.
yeah,
We'll shut that shit down just like Insomniac.
we're gonna monetize the shit out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think $100 for a full season of this game was bad? Oh, you wait.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It's extremely confusing because, like, I knew you said this the other day, but I've been trying to wrap my head around it. Like, the idea of, like, it would be like buying Lucasfilms, right?
Yeah.
And not getting Star Wars.
Right. Like you just get the studio, but George Lucas still owns Star Wars.
Yeah. It's like, well, they did make Star Wars. You don't get it, but, like, I mean, think about the other shit they could do.
Yeah. Unless we say you can,
Yeah.
you can't make Star Wars still.
Yeah.
And
But taking Ed Boon away from
yeah.
Mortal Kombat just seems weird.
Yeah, potentially like the company that, for as far as I know, only right now makes Mortal Kombat and Injustice Gods Among Us.
Yeah.
Could not have, like, they could be sold, and if negotiations were to fall apart,
Mhm.
would lose those IPs.
You know what's crazy too?
What?
Is like, I'm not much of a Mortal Kombat fan,
Mhm.
but their handling of the characters that they get for Mortal Kombat
Mhm.
is actually more respectful than the movies that they make about them. Have you thought about that?
Dude, it's a good story.
Like, Robo-fucking-Cop is RoboCop.
Yeah.
He shoots dicks off.
And then they're going to reboot RoboCop and it's going to be a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Or like they already did, I guess.
Well, yeah. Yeah,
It
exactly.
was a piece of shit. Fuck that movie. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
The Batman Arkham games are amazing.
They're fucking
Story-wise,
awesome.
They're probably better than the Christopher Nolan movies.
Well, yeah. I hate to say
As-
that. Well,
if you like comics, they're better, at least, you know?
yeah, I mean, there's so much that happens. It's like Penguin's there, the Joker's there, Ra's al Ghul, like,
Yeah, it's a big fleshed out world.
yeah.
I'm not sure if you could like shrink that down into like a 2-hour movie or even a 2.5, 3-hour movie.
Mm-hmm.
You might be able to,
Maybe.
but they've been so good. Like both of those studios have done nothing but good things for like a decade almost.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Origins, I don't think was that great, but I don't.
It wasn't that
That might
bad
have even.
either.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna sell them to pay for a goddamn Snyder cut.
Dude. Man, Warner Brothers is like just making all sorts of mistakes.
I'm a little confused because there's a lot of stuff that they don't own because they keep selling their shit. Instead of it almost feels like instead of trying to consolidate, they're trying to diversify. Instead of trying to pull all of their content and put it on HBO Max
Mm-hmm.
and be like, this is our fucking hill to die on.
Yeah.
They're like, we need to cover our bases. We need to own profit sharing in these IPs. We're going to make the movies and shit still, but we want somebody else dealing with the video game stuff so we can have that income source.
Kind of like they're playing Monopoly and they have like a whole bunch of like partial,
Yeah.
right? But they just got 3. So they mortgage off all their other properties and then build fucking hotels.
That would be what I would think they would do, but it doesn't seem like that's what they're doing. It seems like they just want to buy those blue ones over here and put like 2 houses on them.
Yeah.
And also own the yellows and then like have HBO Max be like their Park Place and Boardwalk and shit.
Yeah, because if you land on those 2 spots, man, that's like $3,000.
Right.
Yeah.
It's super confusing. I don't understand how the finance of it all works. And then they're like constantly losing content now because certain rights revert. So most of the DC shit's going to be gone.
Yeah. That's been super weird. Like, I love HBO Max so far,
Yeah.
but it is really odd how we're a couple weeks in at this point,
Mhm.
and we still have so little in those like other categories.
Right. And there's already stuff leaving.
But it's Warner Brothers. Like, why don't they have?
Everything Warner
Yeah.
Brothers. Because they've licensed it all out. Like Netflix gets some of it, Hulu gets some of it, Amazon
Weird.
gets some of it. Like
Yeah.
little pieces of it has all been diversified all over the place. And they're like re-upping deals.
Wow. So they're Marvel in the 90s.
They are.
Yeah.
It's exactly what brought down Marvel in the 90s
Fuck.
and how Disney was able to acquire them like pretty cheaply.
You think this is a bad sign for Warner Brothers, or you think like,
Well, they're already upside down after the merger.
yeah,
So I don't know. I mean, HBO is successful.
Yeah,
It's been successful the last few years, like very successful. I
should
don't-
know more about that.
I know it's like it's like its own whole other topic.
Yeah,
But I guess they're gonna lose their video game department.
fuck. I like those Arkham games. I'm
I
gonna
do
leave it
too.
at that.
Do you
Yeah,
think they're just gonna end? Probably.
yeah. Why not?
Uh,
Eh.
so anyway, getting off of HBO.
So probably one of the most exciting news stories I've ever seen. Not trying to build it up too much,
No
but
pressure.
but Peter Jackson is starting an independent animation studio.
I wish I liked animation more.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's visual effects and animation.
Okay.
But as an independent studio, they should be competing with like the likes of like Pixar and stuff.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that could be amazing.
yeah.
I like Peter Jackson.
He is very good. I have my reservations. I like him as a director, but
Mm-hmm.
it seems like every time he's done everything that he's done
Yeah.
that has been kind of groundbreaking, it's on the verge of something else happening too. So it's like we have like Kong come out.
Yeah.
It looked amazing. Everybody thought it was awesome. That was like all him, right?
Right. But it
And
was
then,
like
like-
the tale of SD.
Right. And then HD comes out and you realize like how shitty
You're like,
Kong looks.
God, that looks like shit. And he's like, but nobody had the TV to see that it looked like shit yet.
Yeah, how could I have known?
And you're like, eh.
Yeah. And like the Lord of the Rings stuff
Mhm.
still is really good.
Yeah.
I just rewatched all of that.
Right.
But like, you know, some of the effects just look super dated.
Yeah.
The further and further you get away from it.
Right. I mean, think about it. When those came out, I bought those on DVD for SD television.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a Sony WETA. It looked
Yeah.
pretty good for its time, but
If it says anything for anybody listening, those DVDs were still coming out in widescreen or full screen.
right.
Like 3.4 or 4.3 and 16:9.
Yeah.
But you had to choose which one you wanted to buy.
But I think as a director, right, when you give Peter Jackson room to work, right,
Mm-hmm.
you don't give him like a super constrained timetable and you give him kind of autonomy in what he's creating, he's like a hit factory.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
put constraints on him
Mm-hmm.
and you give him like, we need this to come out at this point and the next one and the next one and the next one, he makes the goddamn Hobbit.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
plus he didn't want to do that as a trilogy.
Adding to your point, man, Peter Jackson was supposed to be working on that Halo movie.
Yeah.
They put him under constraint. They sent him out there to work on it with him and a writer.
Yeah.
Couldn't get the shit done. They
Yep.
ended up making District 9 while they were out there
Oh, yeah, yeah.
on their own time.
Yep.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never did Halo.
Halo probably would have been shitty though.
Do you remember how excited we were when we heard that Peter Jackson was doing Halo?
Yeah, that was so cool.
It was probably like 2008.
Yeah, probably. Something like that.
Yeah, like Peter Jackson, here's the one thing that makes me worried about this, right?
Okay.
The first project is an animated accompaniment for Disney of Avatar.
Yeah.
You said it was under a Fox contract still?
I don't know. I mean, that's my speculation. Like, I know not Peter Jackson. James Cameron has been
Mhm.
working on the Avatar series for 10 plus years.
Yeah, basically since it came out.
And he's working with Peter Jackson to do the visual effects. So, I mean, I would imagine that they've just been working together.
So we
Since-
could get these amazing Peter Jackson digital effects that rock our socks off.
Maybe. Or we get something that looks super awesome until, like, his shit could be the precursor to a whole new technology that we've never even thought about coming out in like fucking 2 years.
Damn. Kind of like when you saw those first flat screen TVs and they were like 8 inches wide
Yeah.
and you were like, oh shit, that looks awesome. Because you're used to tube TVs.
Uh-huh.
And then a year later, you have like the Sony Bravia series TVs that were like 3.5 inches thick.
Like pseudo flat screens.
The real
Like-
flat screens all came out.
Well, no, I mean like they were flat screens, but they were still kind of
Yeah.
thick.
those pseudo flat screens. Some of them had built-in DVD players still, like the SD.
Oh yeah, it goes in the back.
Yeah.
Sideways.
Like that bullshit.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, that's
scary.
how I felt about Avatar. I mean, it kind of like innovated the 3D stuff,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it kind of died with it too. It was like Kurt Cobain or some shit. You know, it's like it only really worked for Avatar, and outside of that, it was just a gimmick for the theater to get an extra $3.
True. And I never chose that.
No.
When theaters were still around.
Yeah.
I never chose the 3D.
I know, because it was super awkward whenever you would go order a ticket and you were like, I want regular D.
No, I coined that on purpose just because it was awkward for the poor person at the box.
Yeah. I got a lot of comments about that.
You'd be coming right behind me and I'd be like, can I have one for regular D? And they're like looking at me like, what the fuck did he just say?
Did he just say he wanted the regular D?
And then I like go through and you're behind him and you're like, I just want the same one he got. And they'd be like, you mean the regular D?
You're failing to mention that I actually work there. And I had to explain to these people why you were saying that.
That shit was funny as hell.
Yeah.
I miss the theaters.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Man. So something else I miss.
Yeah.
Good ass Star Wars.
We've been getting a little bit.
We've been getting it on the small screen.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's going to continue to be on the small screen that we get the good Star Wars.
Huh.
Because the 2022 movie looks like it could be in jeopardy.
Uh-huh.
Like either they're not going to film it, or it's going to change directors, or maybe change visions, or just slow down altogether.
Well,
that's the one that's supposed to be like the golden age of the Republic or whatever.
Oh, yeah?
But we're getting 2 more animated series.
That could be awesome. It really could be.
Except we know that one of them is probably going to be something like Resistance.
Ah.
That's a terrible, like, cel-shaded bullshit ass.
Yeah, doesn't it look like a poor attempt at doing the Scanner Darkly?
It looks like somebody let the South Park guys do it.
No.
It's almost as bad as South Park.
South Park looks way better than Resistance.
God damn it. Yeah, so they're going to do another Resistance, and then, or another thing like Resistance. But the other one, since Clone Wars is like the most streamed show on Disney Plus, is rumored to be something like Clone Wars.
Well, that's cool. Do we know if Dave Filoni has any involvement yet?
I would think so. If you have the most streamed show on a streaming service,
like put that guy on.
Yeah, and you work there. Really, they need to put Dave Filoni in charge of everything.
Filoni, man.
He loves Star Wars.
Yeah.
Filoni is one of us.
He is.
One of us. One of us.
I watched a little bit of the Mandalorian documentary.
The making of?
What was it called? Gallery?
Yeah.
Or something. And when it gets to that part when he's talking about Qui-Gon and Darth Maul fighting for the soul of Anakin.
Yeah.
Dude. How is it I mean, like, did you get that beforehand? Were you like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this guy loves the series so much that he can look at something that you've watched probably 100 times in your lifetime.
Yeah.
Right? And he can tell you something new about it.
That's amazing.
Blows my mind.
Yeah. I love the idea of Filoni being in charge of more stuff.
Yeah.
He's only gotten cartoons, right?
Yeah. Because he was a Nickelodeon guy that they brought over to work on the Clone Wars. Because like he had pitched the idea.
Yeah.
This is all stuff that I heard from the documentary. But yeah, he worked on Clone Wars and then Rebels, right?
Mm-hmm.
But before that it was like Avatar.
Yeah, something like that.
He was like a director or something.
He was one of the executive directors or something like that in Avatar.
Yeah. Which I still don't think is anime, but
Avatar The Last Airbender, not Avatar the
right,
Blue Fox that we were just talking about a second ago.
Yeah, nobody fucking with no tails in that show.
Yeah, nobody tail fucking anybody in Avatar The Last Airbender, which is an American animation.
Yeah, it wants to be anime.
On Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Just because the kids have fucking powers and travel the world doesn't mean it's goddamn anime.
Yeah.
I don't understand. And that being like on streaming services and people rewatching it, like fuck that shit.
Kind of blows my mind a little bit.
I know they're real late. You know, I've never watched that.
I watched like the first season or two or something because I
Yeah.
wanted to give it a fair shot.
We went to the M. Night Shyamalan movie and it just soured me to the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
like shit, yeah. So also in the Mandalorian thing, in the gallery, they were showing this video wall that they apparently used to shoot all the scenes.
yeah,
And there was an interview with Ewan McGregor, who's apparently been to the set and seen it. And he was like, if we had had that when we were doing the prequels, it would have been so much better because we did like 90% of the prequels in front of a green screen or a blue screen.
yeah.
And so now they can just show it on this high pixel density LED wall and they just act in front of it and they know where they're supposed to be and what's supposed to happen and everything that's going on.
Yeah.
That's got to be like a huge advantage.
You never really think about how awkward that is, do you? Like,
Just acting it out in front of nothing.
yeah, like I'm going to put a camera on you right now, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be like, okay, you're falling.
Ah!
Yeah, and you're going to land in like this car or something.
Oh.
And, like,
And you don't even have the fucking Foley effects
yeah,
to help you out.
yeah. And basically, I'm Lucas over here, like, act better.
No, I'm not going to tell you what your motivation is.
Yeah.
You're going to spoil it on the internet like goddamn Darth Vader.
Who are you mad at? Why are you so jaded?
I'm angry because they spoiled Vader. Fuck you. I bet you that's like a verbatim conversation from that set.
It is. You know, like,
Shut the fuck up and complain about sand, goddammit.
yeah. He's like, where am I? You don't fucking need to know. Act better.
Those movies are a great story. They're
Yeah.
very poorly directed.
They are.
I don't think I need to say that every time we talk about Star Wars,
Yeah.
but every time I rewatch anything Star Wars, the prequels get better because they add context and they
Yeah.
add cool things. Even the thing you just told me about Dave Filoni talking about Qui-Gon and Maul fighting for Anakin's soul,
Yeah.
that makes that shit better.
It is because, like, Qui-Gon was the only one that understood that the Jedi Order was flawed and that they would ruin him.
Yeah,
God, that's so good.
it's amazing.
And it's the reason why the song is called Duel of the Fates.
Damn it. That's too
Fuck.
good.
Lucas was a genius.
God damn it, he's still a genius. They should just give him Star Wars back.
God,
Let him keep the $4 billion and just give it back to him.
I think he's a bad director.
Yeah, but somehow he still makes something that has value.
Yeah. He's the guy that's like, he's a fucking genius, I
Mhm.
think. But he just needs to filter that through somebody that can like go like, all right, guys. You're gonna sign this piece of paper that says that you can't leak it on the internet. And I will tell you where you are and why you're falling.
And they're like, okay. And then Lucas is like, they're not going to tell? They're like, no, they signed a non-disclosure.
So like paper's the force.
Yeah.
And it works through and binds them to a contract, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. I get this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's going to make them act better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's all they need.
Yeah.
I bet you, as outlandish as the shit that we read about his version of the sequel trilogy,
Uh-huh.
I bet you somehow it would have turned out good.
Yeah. I mean, it would have.
That's
It's got to.
That's the fucking cut we need.
We need the fucking Lucas cut?
The George Lucas cut of the sequel trilogy, where he just cuts the whole shit right out and then just redoes it.
Yeah. We let him go nuts. Like, we thought it was crazy when he was, like, adding in 5 or 6 more Ewoks,
Yeah.
you know, to, like, Return of the Jedi. Now we just let him go nuts. We're like, Lucas, you do you.
Mhm.
Those sequels, they didn't happen.
Okay, so when he went nuts, when he did that, he had absolute power. He
Uh-huh.
owned that shit, and that's
Uh-huh.
all he did.
I know, but I'm saying we were freaking out about small shit.
Yeah, but he only did small shit wrong.
Yeah.
Like the acting and the
Yeah.
direction. Small shit. He still gave us our nerd shit that we
Yeah.
like.
The farther we get in life, I feel like all the shit we thought was a big deal, like pales in comparison.
Inconsequential.
Yeah. Like, I thought that was bad. Like, fuck Lucas remastering his own movies. And then it's like Disney gets the sequels. And I'm like, man, I miss the days when fucking Lucas would go back and just touch up the things that I loved so they would stay current and
aged
relevant.
gracefully.
Yeah.
And I was mad that he made Han shoot first, but
Maybe he's just a good guy.
yeah. Maybe Han was supposed to shoot first. Maybe that
Yeah.
was supposed to be something telling about his character.
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, Greedo could have shot first. I don't know.
It happened so fast.
Yeah, who's to say?
Shit. I think that's about an episode.
Yeah, that's good.
If you enjoy this dribble, you can check us out at thefirebearrepublic.com or on Instagram and Spotify.
On Spotify?
We're on Spotify.
Well, I mean, we're on everything.
Well, on
That's-
Instagram and Facebook. I guess those are our socials. And then they can check us
Yeah.
out on all the places you can get podcasts.
Yeah. And Firebear Podcast on Twitter.
Yeah. And have a good week. We can talk at them next week.
I believe so.
Okay.
All right.
Cheers.
See ya.